welcome to the Dust Monkey channel. And what are we covering today? Today I'm going to talk about Blodsband Reloaded, why it is the best LARP event I've ever been to. Overall, not just post-apocalyptic, just in general, it's the best LARP experience I've ever had. I've been LARPing for 11 years, which means nothing, because what I like is different to what you like. But this video is all about why I think Blodsband Reloaded is the best event ever. So first of all, what the fuck is Blodsband Reloaded? Well, in the words of the augurs themselves, Blodsband Reloaded is a romanticised wasteland and apocalypse where people worry more about where to find dye for their hair and armour and shit than worry about where they're going to get their next meal from. It's not an exercise in gritty realism. It is an exercise in action movie aesthetics with all the madness that comes with it. So they list amongst their main sort of points of inspiration's the word. Anyway, they list Fallout, all of them, even the crappy ones, 76, Fallout 4, Borderlands, all of them, Wasteland 1 and 2, Tank Girl, Doomsday, UK represent, Six String Samurai, Mad Max, all of them, Salute of the Jugger, and others. And they go on to say, as you can see, they have a clear type. The type is pretty stupid, occasionally corny, always over the top and fucking awesome. That's their description of their event. And they also go on to say that's what they endeavour to embody. We encourage you, as humbly as we may, to keep this in mind when you plan your shenanigans and costume. On top of this, walking around, there's a few clear sources of inspiration that I saw there that aren't listed there. They'll say that they're wrong, they're not listed there. And those were a lot of very clear Neil Blomkamp inspiration. So we're talking Chappie, District 9, Elysium in particular. Quite a few very obviously Neil Blomkamp, Weta, Elysium inspired exosuits. One of them by Shell Shock Labs, Alessio of course, who was there with me. Then there was a lot of cyberpunk stuff going on, but it was all like gritty cyberpunk, it wasn't, you know, sort of Blade Runner. And then there was also quite a few people who went a bit more gritty realism. Not, you know, the road, but still went a bit more to that side of things when it came to their costume design. In times, that's not even what I meant to say. In terms of game style, Blodsband Reloaded is a fest-sized Nordic LARP that utilises airsoft for ranged combat. That's literally all I'm going to discuss for now in this video about the more action side of stuff. You know, I did a vlog while I was there that talked on the action. I did another video showing you the action. So this video is more about the event as a whole. I don't want to get dragged down into how, you know, how the combat side of it worked. It's LARP. There's no rules. There you go. Off you go. That's it. So from now on, I'll be doing them, answering questions people put up on my Facebook page, what they wanted me to discuss while discussing the event. Number one. Why did I go to Blodsband Reloaded? That's pretty simple. I think a couple of years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, I saw a lot of footage on YouTube about Blodsband Reloaded. One of my friends and fellow Wasteland warrior, Eric, aka Wasteland Pirate, him and a group of his friends went every year. I think I then asked him some more questions about it. He told me, I got super keen. My friend Alessio, aka Shell Shock Labs, got super keen, and we were going to go 2 years ago. I then had a massive accident, which we won't go into, so I couldn't go that year. So I finally managed to go this year. Pretty much the minute they announced they had tickets, I emailed them and was like, look, I bought a ticket last year, I couldn't come. Let me know when tickets are on sale, I really want to come. Please, 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 please. And I got a ticket, which is fucking cool. And it's not very expensive, they're like €65. Which as an event runner, I mean, when I was there, I had a conversation with some of the augurs and I said, please charge more, please. I don't understand maths, how you do what you do with that little tiny budget of €65 a person. I mean, there's like 500, 700 people, but I mean, the site's enormous. You know, I think it's, you know, several miles square. You've got a whole town, then you've got a whole wasteland that's big enough that vehicle use is actually sensible. Like there's some events where, you know, you could bring a vehicle, but within 30 seconds you're in and out of it because you've done the whole site. Whereas here you could be in the car for like 15-20 minutes, you know, before seeing anything familiar driving around. It was amazing. Anyway. So that's why I went. Why did I go? Because it's a fest-sized LARP event in the post-apocalyptic genre, which is my favourite. The costume standards looked exactly where I wanted them to be. The rules are what I liked, which is low rules. I hate calls. I don't like it. It ruins immersion. And the whole ethos of everyone attending there just seemed to match and gel with what I like and I want. So yeah, that's why I went. How did I get there? Good logistical question, that one. I flew. Next question. No, so yeah, I flew because of my kit, which was that one, that heavy motherfucker over there. He's about 25 kilos. That luckily was my threshold of luggage. My guns I had shipped over to Eric, Wasteland Pirate, very kind of him, and so that's how I got my guns there. I shipped them. It actually worked out a little bit cheaper than if I took them on the plane with me in terms of excess luggage. The reason I sent them was if you take a replica firearm on a plane, you have to go through a whole lot more security. And you know, if on the day they decide like, oh no, we don't believe it's an airsoft gun, then suddenly lost all my airsoft guns. Whereas if I ship it, I had better odds. It still got opened by security on the way to Sweden and on the way back, but the box was open, nothing was touched, no damage done. Still got it in plenty of time, so no concerns. So yeah, I'll probably ship them again. If they want another one, please run another one. Next question is, what expectations did you have versus what was it like? Pro tip for attending a LARP event, don't go with expectations. I'll be honest with you. I went, and if you don't believe me, message Shellshock. Ask him about our conversation beforehand and on the car and the drive there. Because yeah, so another thing, once we landed in Sweden, we had to get a car, and there was like a 3-hour drive from the airport. I think it was 3 hours from the airport to the site. It was pretty much one motorway the whole way. It was super easy to find. We had sat nav up on my phone, no problems. Probably the easiest road drive to get to a LARP event ever. It was, frankly, if we'd not been able to find it, we must have been blind drunk. It was stupidly easy to find. Good directions on the website, accurate sat nav information, and the place is massive. You can't miss it. It's literally, the site is so big you cannot miss finding it. Anyway, back to expectations. Yeah, don't go to a LARP event with any expectations. I find every time I've gone to an event thinking it's going to be the best event ever, it's not been. And I think a lot of the time that's no fault of the organisers at all. You just build something up in your head to such an extent that it limits your enjoyment you can have when you're there. So I went to BBR having just walked away from running my own post-apocalyptic events for 4 years. So I kind of went with very much sort of like a decompress in mind. You know, I kind of just wanted to go there and just, you know, not worry. I'm not running anything. I can wake up when I want to wake up and go to bed when I want to go to bed. I can be involved in as much with a little plot as I want to. Yeah, and that was my attitude. I just went with an open mind to see what BBR was all about, and it just blew my mind. It absolutely blew my tiny little mind. Like a shotgun to the back of the head. I wasn't prepared for it. It was absolutely amazing. The quality of the roleplay and the plot was that of a very small, intimate event, but somehow replicated at an event with hundreds and hundreds of people. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. And a lot of it was before the event, so people contacted me, I contacted some people, because they have a whole group for BBR set up for intrigue, where groups and players can get in touch with each other about pre-arranging plot to run with each other before the event. This is something that I've no experience of. It's not something that I've ever done in the UK or seen encouraged in the UK for people to talk before an event and set up plot and stuff. There's a lot of bigger events sort of say like, no, you can't do that, it has to be done in the field and blah blah blah. Anyway, so I did a little bit of that, because not too much, because I didn't know what was going on. It was quite new to me, and all of the pre-arranged stuff was absolutely amazing. Particularly the plot we got involved with the Dookie, who were sort of like a North Indian, southern Afghanistan, sort of Bedouin-inspired group. And their camp and set dressing and costume and roleplay and everything about that group was absolutely amazing. Especially for me, not only actually being obsessed with Lawrence of Arabia, but also playing a character obsessed with Lawrence of Arabia, or the legend of, because it's post-apoc. So to roleplay with this group and spend so much time with them as I did, and for them to be as welcoming to me and Alessio was just amazing. But that was true of all the groups we interacted with. So the Vibrators, which are the group Wasteland Pirates in, were super welcoming. 5th Division, who are a lot of LARPers from Germany who came over for the event and were camped opposite us. I know Dominic from in that group from when we were both in Wasteland Warriors together. They were super accommodating. In fact, one night we came back to our like sleeping area, and they'd put on each of our pillows a packet of German sauerkraut, and they'd wrapped it up in the 5th Division like a militia patch, which was like a super sweet, present for us to come back to. Thankfully, it was sort of a king shilling sort of trick, so they were waiting for us to, be like, oh, we ate all of it. No, oh, if you ate it, then you've got to join. So, nice try, 5th Division. Anyway, so they were super welcoming. The Machine Dogs, fuck the Machine Dogs. They were proper Mad Max, War Boy, mad, bombastic, vehicles, bikes, quad bikes, insanity. That's just what they were. They were amazing. Their group look was amazing. The roleplay was amazing. The vehicles were amazing. Their camp was amazing. Just being with them and around them it was just like, I'm fucking in Fury Road. Like, that's where I am right now. And they were super accommodating. I mean, we'd chatted a little bit with Peter Edgar, who is sort of like their sort of Immortan Joe, but he's like a younger Immortan Joe, I guess. He's sort of their leader, and we had a little in-character leader, and we had a chat with him a little bit beforehand, but we hadn't, it was more a case of like, you've heard of my character, that's it. And we ended up sort of being taken in by that group throughout the event, which was just amazing, because they had never met us. And they just sort of took us in, which was, like I said, replicated over and over again at BBR. There's groups of opening their arms and saying, hey, come on in, join in the roleplay, be part of the group, be part of the fun. And, I mean, me and Alessio were both really shocked, him coming from Italy, me coming from England, at this just overall arms wide open approach from absolutely everyone we met. Whereas in the UK, at bigger events, you can walk up to a camp or a group and it's closed off, it's insular, their role plays for them, you're not welcome. So to go from that mindset where everyone's more focused on their fun, not your fun, to BBR where everyone was like shared experience fun. Our fun is your fun is our fun, everyone's fun is for everyone. Yeah, it was amazing. It really, really was an eye-opener. So yeah, that's anyway. You can probably tell why I really fucking liked my time there. So the next question was, why would you encourage people to attend, and how is it different to post-apoc LARP in the UK? Number one, I wouldn't recommend people attend, because then you might get my ticket and then I might not be able to go. So don't attend. Ignore everything that's come before. Don't you dare fucking come and take my place. No, seriously, fucking go. It's amazing. Yeah, it's for all the reasons I've just said. If unless you don't want to make an effort with kit and are super, super competitive and love calls, if you are liking any of those three things, do not come to Blodsband Reloaded. It's not competitive, there's no calls, and the kit standards are amazing. Even some of the kit that, you might be like, oh, well, it's not amazing. It didn't matter. Like, everything fit. There was nothing I saw there for my 4 or 5 days I was there, when I was like, oh, well, that's glaringly immersion breaking. It just didn't happen. Everything, I literally just, for the first day, when we were set up, I was just walking around like this. And then for the minute it hit time in, there's like a massive in-game brief with everyone there. I was stood at that in-game brief just being like, I don't know where to look. Don't know where to look. Someone built a shantytown on top of a lake. And an actual shantytown. They built water world. There was a water world. Like, how fucking nuts is that? Where else have you seen a fucking water world with massive rats on it? Like, people-sized rats. Costume amazing, roleplay amazing, camp fucking amazing. It floated. And then watching a group actually go out to that on one of their little moving thing. Boat, whatever, and then going around there and stealing stuff and coming back. I was like, oh man, this is fucking so cool. Thankfully, no one fell in that I know of, because that would have been shit. I mean, you couldn't have paid me to go over to that place in 25 kilos of armour. Nope. Anyway, so yeah, if you like everything I've just said, go. If you don't like it, don't go. How is it different to post-apoc LARP in the UK? There's nothing that's of this size or scope in the UK. Nothing. Nothing even close, to be honest. Post-apocalyptic LARP in the UK is distinctly average at best. There's a new event starting in January, which I'm hoping will be a bit of an outlier and be, it's aiming to be high immersion, low rules. Jess Unicorn, who came to BBR with me and Alessio, is one of the augurs, so she's taking a lot of what she saw in Sweden and trying to implement it on a smaller scale LARP in the UK. So who knows? I mean, that could be pretty cool. And then, of course, there was The World Went Dark, which I ran, which again looked at European systems in terms of low rules, kind of roleplay, set dressing, costume. But yeah, I ran it, so I can't really say it was good or not because I'm too busy running the thing. Ask someone else, I'll tell you if it was good. So yeah, so that's how BBR is different. The UK has nothing like this, so it's like chalk and cheese. There's nothing I can even compare or try to compare BBR to. It doesn't exist in the UK. Nothing remotely close exists in the UK. Quality of roleplay, that was another question, but I kind of answered that in what expectations did I have and why would I encourage people to go. I think one of the really big things about BBR was like a true sandbox. I know a lot of fest systems say like, oh, it's a roleplay sandbox, and it's not. If you go there on your own, there's massive limitations as to what you can achieve or do. Some events, unless you come with 20 mates, then you can make no impact at all anywhere. Whereas at BBR, it was just me and Alessio walking around, and there was at no point that I feel that something I wanted to do I couldn't because there was some kind of game design block or block by other players. It did not happen. There was no point at all over the 3 or 4 days of the event where I couldn't do something I wanted to do. So, I mean, another reason it was absolutely amazing. But yeah, true, genuine sandbox, post-apocalyptic sandbox of pure epicness. And then the last question was, what did you learn as an event runner from BBR? I mean, as an event runner, really what it really like reinforced for me was that something of that kind that can't exist in the UK. It can't. On that scale, you aren't going to get that big a buy-in for the post-apoc genre. Post-apoc in the UK is not a big community or genre, really. It's pretty small. So I think you'd probably struggle to get 100 people to a decent post-apoc event, let alone 500. And then, of course, the problem we've got in the UK is site availability, site costs, insurance costs. So, looking at, that's one of the reasons I said to the BBR, refs about only charging €65 a ticket. Because I was imagining trying to do the same in the UK at €65. What's that, like, 50-something pounds? It's impossible. No way. I mean, we had to charge well over £100 a ticket for The World Went Dark just to get, unique-ish sites for that size of event. I'm trying to imagine that on a bigger site. The costs, the maths isn't there in the UK, unfortunately. Nor do I think is there much desire or will for that sort of event. I mean, maybe that would change. I mean, new LARPs being run all the time. Like I said, Blind Dogs is sort of trying to continue the World Went Dark legacy, or so the organisers say. That's not me saying that, it's them saying that. So thank you very much them for that. In fact, one of my other videos was with Matt Adams, who's one of the event runners for Blind Dogs. So if you are more interested in Blind Dogs, then go check out that video. If you want to see any of the combat from Blodsband Reloaded, check out that video. If you want to see me walking around on my jaw on the floor for like 12 minutes, check out my vlog from Blodsband Reloaded. But other than that, I think that's this video done. I think we've covered all the points. I've ranted and raved about how much Blodsband Reloaded is the best post-apocalyptic LARP ever for, I don't know, it says 18 minutes, but I'll be editing this down. Anyway, if you like what you see, thumbs up. If you don't like what you see, thumbs down. But screw you if you give me a thumbs down. And then like, subscribe, share, comment. Yeah, comment if you want me to talk about other events I go to, I guess. Anyway, in the meantime, that's Dust Monkey out.